edition of the Seller Stream. We had Mevitz Bricks in the stream a moment ago. I was upstairs saying goodnight to my kids, and I think he might have left thinking that I wasn't going to be on. But probably be coming back in. We have got cold water bricks and pumpkin bricks over in the chat, and I've got a few questions from last week to discuss.
Testing.
Hey,
how's it going? Can you hear me?
So how's it going tonight? Go ahead, introduce yourself and make yourself familiar to the studio audience.
Howdy, everybody. I am Mevitz Bricks. Do you hear an echo?
No, not at all.
Okay. First time on. I've watched this for a while. Started out with Big B here, Brick Stackers, and Brick Willet when I started watching mostly.
Right on. What's the name of your store? Go ahead, talk about that.
Store name's Mevitz Bricks as well. You can get to my site either by going www.mevitzbricks.com. I have been in business less than a year, and basically gotten started because of these guys. I actually started watching them just to start learning how to use BrickLink and buy stuff. And now it's one of those things of I'm hooked.
Right. So are you in your store right now?
I am in my store right now.
Your full store right there? Your working space?
That's my small working space. So just getting started, like I said.
Very cool, very cool. You guys all know Cool Kid Bricks, who has his camera off. What's going on CKB?
Oh, just finished eating dinner and watching Holland and Ballin', and the link finally worked. I tried it, stuck me in a room by myself, and tried again, and now I'm here.
I didn't know you were going to a room by yourself. I wasn't trying to punish you, man.
Dude, that's what's been happening the past several Sundays, where the link will just send me to a room. But I mean, it's not just your link. Like anytime people send me a link, it just puts me in a room by myself for some reason.
Maybe it's YouTube punishing you. Could be.
Might be. So, you said Mevitz Bricks?
Mevitz Bricks, yes, sir.
What's your store up to right now, if you don't mind me asking?
As far as parts,
yeah,
I was
numbers and lots. Those are the numbers he's talking about.
Yeah,
lots 1,784, and I had about I'm right at now around about 45,000 pieces.
Okay, where are you located? State.
Texas.
Oh shit, where in Texas?
Down in the San Antonio area, little area called Cibolo, which is basically a suburb of San Antonio.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'm from San Antonio. That's crazy. Okay.
Well, that's cool. How long ago?
I've been in the Navy for 10 years, so it's been a little over 10 years that I've been out of San Antonio. My parents are still there though, so.
That's cool. Thanks for your service, man.
Oh, no problem.
You too, Big B.
Thanks to CKB, he's still toughing it out.
Yeah. About to re-up for another 6 here in December, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hope you're holding out for a good bonus, man.
I am.
You guys deserve every single penny you guys get for that re-up, because that's the big money. That's what sort of the equalizer for a lot of career military guys is their re-up bonus. Since they don't make a lot of money in the enlisted service in the United States, the re-up bonus is really where they can, make things happen for their family.
That's very true, and that's where things get tricky for me, because I have it's an 8-day window, but 3 of those days are the weekend. There's a Saturday, Sunday, and then another Saturday. So I really have a 5-day, 6-day window, I guess, that I can re-enlist in order to qualify to get a re-enlistment bonus.
Re-enlist to qualify for a re-enlist.
Yeah. Well, to get a re-enlistment bonus.
Yeah.
You gotcha.
Qualify for the bonus, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew people when I was in the service that were, they negotiated. Their re-enlistment bonus was a ride in the back of a 16 and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's not what you want, I don't think.
No.
You want the equalizer.
Yeah.
That's what you
So
and deserve. So you're going to be shipping your store off to Japan next year, right?
I mean, well, I haven't picked orders yet, so I really don't know where I'm going to be going. But if I'm going to Japan, I'll definitely be the biggest Bricklink store in Japan.
That's going to be crazy
Really
picking up and shipping that.
Awesome. You'll totally have Pick-a-Brick supplies too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you'll be able to take advantage of that APO rate.
Yep.
For those that don't know out there, because I see a lot of Bricklink stores and Brick Owl stores that have APO, AE, and what is it, ADO? Is that the other one?
I think so.
But it's the A consonant O, and that's basically for U.S. government forces and civil servants serving overseas.
Yep.
It ships at the USPS rate. All right, same first class rate you get before. The only thing you have to do is you have to fill out a customs form, and my understanding is the customs form is actually have to be physically submitted through the post office.
Yep.
So it's a tad bit more work, but if you think about it, it's not any real skin off your back to do that because of who it's going to. And I'm saying this to shame the stores out there that specifically have the no APO AE orders accepted. And they do that because it's an inconvenience because they actually have to physically go to the post office. So rant over. You're not allowed,
that was
you're
APO
not allowed to do that rant, so I am.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what's your store up to, man?
Lot wise, I'm not sure. I think I want to say over 3,000 lots, and I just got up to 72,000 parts, minus a couple orders today, and I'm like it's 71,000 something. So slowly getting to 100K, man.
Good. So have you seen more orders now? You guys both, are you seeing more orders now that the holiday season has not really officially, but I mean, I guess officially because, Walmart's got it out. Walmart has Halloween right next to Christmas in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
No Thanksgiving at all.
For me, yes, definitely. I don't know if I had, again, since the first year being in business, I didn't see hardly any orders to begin with. And I think mainly it's because people come to that store and look at it and be like, oh, he has no orders. I don't trust this guy. That's how I kind of felt it was. So I literally reduced my prices down, 10% basically to kind of come under a little bit. And since I've done that, things have picked up for me. You've probably seen some posts on Instagram and things like that. And so I've been getting orders and learning a whole lot within the last month.
Good. Hope some of the stuff we're saying helps and gives a basis, especially a basis for pricing. Because a lot of people out there that don't understand the economy of Bricklink really, I don't think, enjoy me talking about how the 6-month average and the available average are really good qualifiers on what you should price it at. And you really shouldn't try to chase after people that do this professionally for a living in Europe. Because it's a losing battle and you're fighting your way to the bottom. Because they get prices by the kilo and it's a ridiculously low price. I actually got some direct pricing this week from a good person, a good friend who lives in Germany, who happened to be going to Legoland there and buying directly just off of their Pick-a-Brick wall what the prices were on some select items, and it was ridiculous. It was half of what the sellers that do this as a family on Bricklink out of Europa have it priced at.
Wow.
So, I mean, literally buying from Pick-a-Brick at Legoland is cutting out the middleman. And who I'm referring to is H2 Bricks. So he's a T-Fall. He's a really good T-Fall, though. Not that T-Falls are bad. I'm just saying, like, he's a good guy. He's experienced. Used to live here in the States, down in Georgia, I believe, and now he and his family are back in Germany, where they're originally from. But he had sent me a special message because he's an old host and friend from Saturday Stream when I used to have that, and wanted to let me know he was going there because he knew I'd picked up stuff in bulk. So, check into the chat here.
How do I see the chat on when the?
You go to the web page that the show is on.
Okay.
Immediately pause it, and then go over to the chat where the 3 dots are and hit pop out chat.
Okay.
And then close the window that the show is on.
Alrighty.
And that's just to keep your picture clear. I was away and out of town this weekend, out in the middle of Nowheresville, Pennsylvania. Great place. Visiting with relatives, having a great time with the family. So I was not. He actually went to Legoland a couple of days early, and I wasn't able to take advantage of that. X21, my newest hero. Villa Ranch, KC Metro Bricks. KC Metro, we need to work out the email thing again so we can get you in as a guest as well. I really want to talk to you, and I really, really do want to see how you do your picture layouts, because that actually inspired me to start doing some of mine as well. And I'm referring to you've seen his Instagram.
Oh, is that who? I think y'all talked about him a couple of weeks ago, and I started looking at him, and I was like, I got to do something.
Well, it's really cool. It's a great display of the elements going out, and he's I like it.
Yep. Definitely more creative than me.
I like it when we can sort of do something artistic with just taking a picture of the goods.
Right.
Because there's not as much time. Of course, there's not as much time to build now as there used to be. Michael Braun, El Paso Bricks, just another brick life. Brickerson. Gary Johnson. You better not report him as underage. Wants to know why I use stamps or in Indica. Do you use either one of those services for any of your shipping?
Me, no. Right now, that was one of my questions I was going to have for you. Is like, what do you use for your shipping product?
I'm still at the space where I can use to go through PayPal.
The multi-tool order.
Yeah, when I do have a larger order, all I do is I always check the prices going through UPS. There is the ability to go on and set up an account where you receive a discount with UPS.
Okay.
I've done that, and I actually talked. What was it? Multigasm Geek through setting his up when he was doing the hashtag Swoop Tejas for me in order to save a huge amount on shipping. I mean, he shipped 2,000 dimension sets to me over time. So
I wish those would come back.
They are back. They are back.
In the 99-cent store, or I know
not a 99-cent store, but I mean, still, if you look at the price of some of them and break it down, some of those fun sets aren't always all $6 part out sets. Some of them are actually $17, $18 sets. You just got it here or there, and you got to sort of play the waiting game. If I had access to the Lord of the Rings sets, that's a no-brainer right there. Like, that's just to sit and hold and wait on not the set but the fig itself.
Right. Yeah, I found some at Walmart for 75 cents and cleaned out a few of those. It's always hard to go back and look at them when they're like $2 and $3. You're like, I got them for 75 cents.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, I got to take advantage of some of the great sales that they had down in Texas, especially with Haley Bricks as well, helping out quite a bit. So, James, you're pretty quiet.
Yeah, my bad. I'm going through your chat right now.
Anything good?
Yeah. Gary Johnson said he's going to report someone for being a minor.
I think he was talking about H2, and I certainly hope not, because like H2, like seriously, like he's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, he does solids for people all the time, and he might actually be an AFOL at this point.
I thought he was, man. I thought he had turned 18 last year or something.
I don't. I'll always remember him as the young kid on the stream.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some of H2 stuff on the stream way back, and like, wow, this kid is crazy talented, and he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, Xfinity, solid, totally got you. And actually, I wanted to talk to all of our UK sellers. Next week, Holland and Ballin is going to be a 2-hour show, and that runs up until 9 p.m. And I really don't want to try to inconvenience people watching a live show while basically The Walking Dead is on. Because it'll be a shitty show. So what I want to do is try to see if I can get some of the UK sellers to come on, and we'll go on an hour before Holland and Ballin. So Holland and Ballin would start at 7, and they're running until 9. We would start at 6 and go to 7 to make and start, probably a little bit before 7 to make sure there's a little buffer there for that.
Right.
I like it when they go long though.
Yeah, me too.
That sounds wrong. Sorry, earmuffs.
You're good.
You, James, you had a stream Saturday morning,
I did.
and that was a not replace. That was a not. We are not here to try to replace the AP stream, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, there was definitely some confusion.
There was some scuttlebutt I heard.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say any names, but the person thought that we were trying to, I guess, compete with the AP stream, and it was by no means were we trying to do that. It was really supposed to be a private hangout that we've been trying to set up for months now, and yeah, it eventually just like, well, if we're gonna do a hangout, we might as well go live. So
You guys have been talking about this for a while.
yeah, and it was really the only time that all of us could get on a stream together. With 2 of the guys, actually 3 of the guys being over in Australia, it was a perfect time. So
Yeah, you guys couldn't even pull that off.
yeah. Yep. Oh, she just burped.
I don't even know what it is. I'm just going to put them in timeout. What was it?
Talk about the laugh, the ape lover.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I just saw they held for review with the picture, and I was like, I'm just going to put timeout and see if it happens. Because I don't like the hammer, but, try to give you a chance. Sometimes you got something good to say, you're just really frustrated. So, CKB, I'm leaving you on the big screen, as you may not know.
I didn't
But
know.
it seems to, N-Talk enjoys it. So we all do for that matter.
You have a cuter co-host, anyways.
You do, always. I was actually a little concerned because last time I talked to you, the only thing you said is Big B, I'm still not talking.
Oh, I was just playing.
And I know you did, but then I was like, well, he really hasn't talked to me in like 3 weeks. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna leave you on the big screen, and I'm gonna roll over to the questions from last week, if that's all right with you guys, since we're sort of at a dead point. Hopefully, the people in the chat will take this cue and start asking some questions of their own. Really do want to get through that. I like the Q&A portion of this show the best. We'll start down at the bottom, and it goes to X21. Hey, Big B, question for the next stream, if you can. Is it worth having your own internet page? Does Food Bricks and Great South Bricks have one? Does it increase sales? Thanks. And my answer to this is just, one, if you are going to put yourself in the world of social media to begin with and name yourself something and sell something online, yes, you should get the URL for your name, and if it's not available, pick a new name for yourself. Because if you do suddenly, you know, people are going to buy stuff and look for you based upon your name, and they're going to Google you based upon that. And it's really easy to forward the domain, just going through whoever the provider is going to be, directly to your Bricklink or BrickOwl or eBay store or wherever you're selling. So, you know, just having that and buying a domain is fairly cheap. I mean, if that happens twice a year, it pays for itself. So, once you own your own brand at that point, that's an important step for all small sellers like us on the internet. You know, I am a small seller. People, you know, say you guys are a huge seller. I'm not. I'm operating out of my basement. I'm just really, really well versed in making stuff fit.
Taking screenshots right now. Learning how.
What's up, Great South Bricks, my dude?
You've got the connection.
Go to domains.google.com if you want to buy a domain. I mean, you can buy one through Google easily. You can set up a website through multiple things. I mean, Google has a couple. As soon as you buy your Google domain, they have like 4 or 5 things that'll pop up if you want to do a domain, you know, do a website off of it. For me, I'm a little bit more techie, and I've done an AWS Linux system that I have a WordPress running off of, and I just use that. And hopefully, once I get my BrickOwl store up and running, I can get that syncing software running off that AWS instance as well.
Excellent, excellent. And then was it like 2 weeks or 3 weeks you'll be on and showing that whole process to us in a dedicated stream, right?
Yeah, sure. It's taken me this long just to get to this point, so yeah. Hopefully, once I get it done, I can document it.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I really want to see if we can touch upon not just like selling bricks and, you know, just slinging, but also like what's behind it. What can we do to take the cost off of us for services that we have to pay for as a business? You know, we're already DIY, you know, doing it ourselves in our basements, in our closets, in the spare bedroom that the kids in college isn't using anymore. What else can we do to take those costs off? You know, a lot of people ask about that because of the inherent cost behind every single sale. You know, there's, no matter what, you know, like even if the sale is this big, like that much of it is a cost you can't get rid of. You know, how do you lessen that, or how do you comfort the blow of that? And, you know, that's a big thing. And doing little things like hosting your own site and stuff like that really is not as complex as it may seem. There's software out there that can help you do it if you're not super techie. But I just wanted to actually do something like that, you know, to have a show about it.
I will definitely be documenting it, and one of the things I hope to do will also be hanging that document off of my website. So another good reason for having your own website, if you want to document some stuff and have people come and search you and find that information, it's easier for them to find, and we can show you how it's working. Y'all have shared plenty to me, so I hope I can share plenty to y'all.
Anybody else want to talk?
Not bad. She's like moving around a whole lot, so I'm just kind of.
It's like a wrestling match over there.
Oh yeah. She can't make up her mind on what she wants to look at.
All right. So the next question is to me personally, so we're going to skip directly over that. But big thanks to X21 once again, being my savior, my quote unquote knight in shining armor coming to my emotional rescue, unquote. Question 3 is, on Bricklink, I have a non-paying buyer with no contact. Do you cancel the order or start a non-paying buyer? And that can go either way. I will always recommend that you do a non-paying buyer and go through with it. One, because if you just cancel it, they have the opportunity to leave feedback, and you can go and get the feedback removed, but then that's a whole other process, and you have that negative tally up there for however long it takes, and you know that's like basically a no sale period. So I mean, I go through and take the hit. It might be 2 weeks until I get the brick back in the store, but I also know that the process to get the brick back in the store will actually put it back in the store. Where if you go and cancel the order, you then have to go back in and manually put it back in yourself. The reason being for that, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Because the way Bricklink was originally designed, it's a brick utopia. And that's how the original programmer, Daniel, put it out there. Was the idea was never that the buyer would want to cancel their order, because they knew, they were experienced going into it, that this was exactly what they wanted. It would only be canceled by the buyer for the reason being that they did not have the parts. And that's why the parts didn't go back into the store. So that's why when somebody wants to take something out of their order, you always have to go and have them initiate the cancellation. It's really simple. Just tell them, bottom of the page, problem center, click on that, put the order number in, and just subtract it. It's really easy. It's not that bad. The new GUI that they've designed for it actually makes that easy to find. So it's definitely not as painful as it was before, where you had to send a random buyer a link that they might not trust, as you're actually pointing them towards a link that's on the Bricklink webpage. So, but a lot of people don't know that with the cancel if you cancel, that it doesn't go back into your store. So that's how a lot of people get discounts and don't realize that they get discounts.
So canceling order.
Does anybody have any experience on that?
So, the only time I've ever put in a non-paying buyer thing, the guy, and I didn't know this at the time, the guy was fighting cancer, which I found out once he told me about his Instagram page, and I went, he had photos of him, getting the chemo done. So he got the email saying that there was the MPB that I had placed on him. And as soon as he saw it, I guess he paid, and then he said, give me the whole explanation on what was going on. So now, I give people the benefit of the doubt. There was one lady who just recently bought from me, and 3 days, came up, sent her a friendly reminder, and nothing, didn't hear anything back from her. And on day 7, I was going to, cancel the order, and that's when she actually emailed me and said, hey, I'm sorry. She uses 2 different emails, one for Bricklink and the other one for whatever else people use emails for. So she was like, I just never checked that email, and I didn't realize that you had already sent the invoice. So she paid, and yeah, but those are my experiences.
Good.
Yeah.
Those are good experiences. And
Yeah.
it makes me feel like a schlep for, just.
So, I mean, now I just give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'll wait.
Oh, I always give benefit of the doubt. You always have to, be customer conscious of, life happens.
Yeah.
But I'm referring to zero communique, type of things, not, hey, I have cancer.
Yeah, I felt like crap. I was like, God dang it. I started looking at his photos on Instagram. I was like, oh man.
And you had photos.
Like this, you need the buddy, here's the bricks for the rehab. Is there a fund I can donate to? I'd like to do a video about you if I could.
Yeah.
So how long would you wait for an MPB if you had? Cool.
I don't know. I mean, I clearly put on my page, hey, 3 days, I'll send a friendly reminder. 7 days, 7 to 10 days, I reserve the right to just cancel your order if you haven't contacted me or replied to any of my messages. So, but I don't think I'm going to do MPBs anymore at all. I just don't want to have.
And so
that's the other side of the coin, and that's a perfectly good other side of the coin as well. That you just don't even want to deal with the whole process.
Yeah.
But you have the process of putting that brick back into your account, right? If you cancel it, you have to put your own brick in.
True.
Or put it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can.
I haven't gone through that process yet, so I'm just wondering.
It's actually not a bad, or it's not a hard thing to do. And once again, the amazing tool to do it with is Brickstock, which I wish this show could get sponsored by. But what you do is before you cancel your order, you just go in and download the order to Brickstock. and then you have it right there, and all you need to do is re-upload it.
Okay, didn't
And that
think
way
about that.
you also retain the locations of the items, just in case they've cleared through the lot and you don't know where the hell they are on your wall anymore. Because that is a common problem as well that happens with canceled orders is they cleaned the lot. Where was it?
Okay. I have pulled down the order into Brickstock and just looked at it, but I didn't know what to do with it really after I got there. So now that's a good idea.
It's a
before,
way
if you're
to
going to cancel it, pull it down, and there you got that information.
Everybody should have a removable drive set up on their computer. This might be allowed to ask as far as equipment, but it's just wise business decisions. Like you should have a removable drive hooked up that all of your Brickstock, BrickSync, Brick whatever files go to, and that you run your weekly, monthly, and if you do daily backups of what is in your store too, which is automatically done by BrickSync, by the way. I was so informed.
Yeah, I do it local, and I also drop it onto Dropbox.
You got any band hammers in the chat?
Oh. Next. Sorry, you guys gotta let me know when that's happening. That was good. You guys catching Pumpkin's question about how to buy a domain. Thank you.
Well, what about Great South Bricks over there?
I don't know, man. He isn't saying anything.
Yeah, I know he's super quiet tonight. I feel like is it me, man?
It looks like he either just woke up or his mic is dead.
Yeah. How do you handle MPVs?
I'm the same as everyone else. I just do it and I just wait a couple of weeks and then put the parts back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Putting parts back in really is bothersome. And my understanding is that they're supposed to make some changes to that. I know that they made changes in code well over 2 years ago. I can't remember who that dude was that used to work for Bricklink. Who's a developer and then a front-end helper or front-end assistant, admin, something. And he was telling me some of the stuff they had implemented because I had gone to him about just some pains like that with the cancellations. And he had said that the code was there, they could roll it out, but they weren't able to, or they weren't because of the spirit of it. But I'm assuming that stuff like that will be included in the new seller rollouts that are coming.
How often are they releasing updates?
Not very.
So.
And they come in huge waves when they come.
So they're doing waterfall style development.
Last time it was, well, not the last time, but the time before that it was crazy. They did a lot of changes at once to a big portion of it and how things were calculated as well. And there wasn't a lot of, in my personal opinion, not a lot of full impact research on what would happen to the economy of if the new features were rolled out with the default settings as they were. And the default setting being when you're looking for a brick, it's always default to any, which meant that people who were new to Bricklink started selling new stuff and competing with new stuff at old price. Some of the classic elements started to take a nosedive.
Wow.
Not real nosedive, but like when you see a 2x4 red brick go down, if it's always traditionally at this price and then a new development is rolled out and it goes down by like 2.5 or 3 cents. It's a significant change to the economy, and one that you would think that the company who puts a tax on the seller would have researched and realized, like, hey, if we roll this out, we're going to lose money on it.
Wow.
A significant amount of money. But that's what happened a few years ago.
Is that the last time they've done huge updates? A couple years ago?
Yeah, when they put out the wish list.
Okay.
KC Metro has a question. Any tips on packing stack-ons for a move? Did you leave parts in each unit and just wrap them? Thanks. And basically, like, your savior for that is going to be plastic wrap. So let me see if I can actually pull this up for you, man. What I used during my move.
The big rolls.
Yeah, the giant rolls. I found them, of course, on the warehouse, Amazon warehouse. But
So on your stack-ons, are there any gaps at the top of them? Because I think with Acro Mills, I could wrap it up, but if it bounces any, I could see pieces changing.
Oh yeah, of course. And that's the risk.
Drawers.
It's the same risk. That's like letting a 5-year-old carry it in. You know, letting the risk happen.
Ooh, colors are mixed.
It was just the rattling sound she dug. All right. Let's see if I can find here. All right. All right. That's it right there. That and a lot of rolls of plastic wrap or tape. And all we did is we just went around the thing 3-4 times, top to bottom, and then taped around it 3 different times over the face, vertically over the face.
They're also fun to wrap in cars.
And I did the same thing with the Sterilite. The large ones and small ones, they all were just completely wrapped in this stuff. And if you're doing a move, what this stuff does is it actually strengthens the entire unit itself. So works out well. Hopefully that answered the question. And then the last one for KC Metro Bricks. I'm sure the bot's looking forward to this one. I did not realize there was more than one fan of the my Shame series. So this is a personal question to me. Making any progress on your unopened Bricklink orders? The Shame box. You realize there you got a Shame box packed over here. I'm going to try to get to doing a video on Monday. You guys can hold me to it and scold me with rants in the chat next Sunday if I let you down. The last question from the chat is from the Vikings Plunder. I'm not sure how you do this, Big B, but you guys are talking on selling on other sites such as Amazon and eBay. What way do you guys use track inventory on multiple sites? I know there's BrickSync for using Bricklink and Brickowl, but how about eBay and Amazon? Do you just pick and choose what you put on the sites in the hopes that it doesn't double sell? And quick and simple answer to that is if you're going to pull it off of Bricklink/Brickowl and sell it from there, you leave it on there, and then you sort of have a separate domain for your eBay and Amazon sales, because there is no sync that I'm aware of at this time. If the golden ticket does exist, please feel free to comment in the chat.
That would be nice to have.
Who is? Okay.
So what's on your wish list for software that you want?
Hold on. You guys got to talk for a second. I got to. Who is this Gary Johnson guy? I have no idea.
Hey, Big B, you're getting a little cranky right now, man.
Do I need to get him off there?
What's up?
Do I need to get that Gary Johnson guy off there?
I don't know. I haven't really been seeing what he's been putting in there, but I know Chris was asking about him.
Oh, I thought you said creepy.
So, but
Did you say
a
creepy?
little cranky, so I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, you said cranky. I thought you said.
Yeah, no. I was talking about this little girl starting to cry.
All
right. Appreciate you having me on, bro.
No way, no problem, man. Next week, maybe.
Hopefully.
All right. Later on.
Take it easy, bro. Nice meeting you, man.
Later.
All right.
Nice to meet y'all.
All right.
So I had a question for you, Big B.
Sure.
Do you have a list of what software that you want written? I know the one that you want is like an automatic backup of BrickLink.
Not really an automatic back. I don't really want an automatic backup of BrickLink. What I would love to have is something that that as I was surfing BrickLink or BrickOwl would tell me what the 6-month average was of the piece that I'm looking at the same time that I'm looking at somebody's webpage. So in other words, when I'm looking at something, when I'm shopping around, so instead of me having to go and do all kinds of clicks to get there, and it's only like 2-3 clicks to do it, but still, something that would just do that for me to take those clicks out of my way.
Okay.
And of course, something that would sync between BrickLink and eBay and Amazon and Etsy and wherever else people sell.
That's one of the things I was trying to do is search for a developer. I've got all the other tech abilities, setting up the servers and things like that, but development's not my thing. So I know a few of them, and I was wondering if I could find someone that could work with me and maybe create a site and that helps out sellers.
I think we all want. I think we all want to find a developer who is in here that's willing to do that for us. Like that's one of my quests is to find a developer who will do stuff for us and then basically get backers for the show.
There you go.
I'm not going to be able to fund a piece of software. I'm not that big of a house. I know that there's houses out there, brick houses out there that have their own software. For instance, go check out Chrome Bricks or Bricks 24, or I can't remember what they're called, but they're a 5 million, 10 million element BrickLink seller over in Germany. I mean, they've got everything's automated. They've got their own shipping, international shipping as well. Really well done.
Wow. And what was that called?
I think it's called Chrome Bricks or Bricks 24.
Okay.
They're huge. They're huge.
I'm actually taking notes. I'm still that
I
new.
believe you just got an order from Bricks for Chris, so you should invoice that. He likes to be quickly invoiced so he can quickly pay. He likes the process done and over so he can wait for his bricks.
I will take a look at right now. Thank you, Bricks for Chris.
All right. If there's anybody out there who has any additional questions, I'd appreciate it. We've got another 15 minutes in the show. I'm going to try to scroll back through. Here we go. All these questions here. My Harry Potter glasses on. What's that?
I heard you say Harry Potter, and I looked over and saw the glasses. I was like, what?
Okay, Xfinity, we got their answer on the non-paying buyers. Excellent. Burger Treat, what's going on? You got a link? How are you doing? Get in here. I trust Intalk. Intalk has sensibility. We'll should use the hammer wisely. I will definitely be using the instant checkout feature once it's rolled out. It works really, really well over on Brick Owl. I'll use my weight references that I have. Sorry for the reflection. The weight references that I have over there, I will roll them over to BrickLink because I know that my weights work pretty well over there. Problem is the volume, and that's the only time that I've ever had issues between. And that only comes in for priority, and it's usually in my favor. So I have to go and make sure that I refund the buyer the difference between a bubble mailer and a small set or a small priority. And experience, come on, speak up, man.
I'm sorry. I was looking at that invoice.
Coldwater Ricks is saying the bigger pain is when somebody cancels non-paying buys on Brick Owl. You always have to manually update BrickLink, and that's true. You do, but once again, one way you can get around that is by opening up your BSX file that BrickSync automatically saves. Open it up in Brickstock and upload it to BrickLink that way, and then run a resync. So once again, Brickstock to the frickin' rescue. You guys honestly need to buy this program, even if you use it. The developer for this has picked up the torch a couple of years ago, and he deserves the money. It's the only developer. We've got two developers basically helping out the small stores on BrickLink and Brick Owl. So that's why I'm trying to support people buying full copies. Basically, be thankful for what we got. Let them know that we are thankful. Xfinity is saying that in his area they now have the LBG 2x2 bricks, which is good. Good to see that our UK brothers are getting some of that 2x2 LBG love. I need to find a buyer for those as well. Anybody out there that wants to ship me Pick-a-Brick cups, 2x2 light bluish gray tile, let me know. Contact me. Make a deal.
Are they currently on the Pick-a-Brick wall in the U.S.?
In assorted places. They're there. They're in some of the Discovery Centers. I looked out over a year ago, and Brick Dudes was in the Discovery Center in Chicago and picked me up, I think probably 10 Pick-a-Brick cups. And I not in wonderful colors, but yellow, pearl gold, some red.
Okay.
Good enough. I mean, pretty good stuff.
I'll
Pearl gold's not all that common, so.
Yeah, I've got two Lego stores that I can hit because I go between two metros.
Nice.
So I have to take a look.
Pumpkin would like to know what the highest number of lots I've had in my store. I think that's maybe right now. It's over 9,000 lots. I'm a true believer that the number of lots is what the draw is to your store, not necessarily the number of elements, but the number of lots, because you're filling a lot more gaps, especially with the way that the new wand list works. So I had to adjust my game to adjust with what BrickLink was doing.
So you go for more lots than you do for it.
I'm all selection. I try to be honestly the Amazon of BrickLink. I try to stock everything that I can. I'm not judgmental of elements. I'm not judgmental of where they came from as a theme. I don't hate on them because of who their parents were.
No, I mean, I'm the same way. I'll get them in. My biggest problem is that's my store.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right. Let's go on your. If you point your camera over to the right, let's see.
That's the living area over there.
All right, never mind.
This is basically dining right here. The
Okay,
dining.
I was going to say you could you cut a piece of piece of plywood in half and secure it across that bowed entrance there, and stack a whole bunch of stack-ons up there.
But I like my wife. I love my wife, and she'll leave me.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of attachment to the wall stuff going on in there. So you're all, you're 100% shelving. All right. So what I did is these right here. These are supported by themselves. This isn't attached to a wall.
Okay. They're all just sitting on top of each other?
No. There's a rack.
Oh, okay.
It's a wooden rack. Up above there, I'll put myself on the screen so people can see it. But up above there, there's where the rack is. And you can see the tie downs that are holding it to the I-beam to make sure that it doesn't sway back and forth. So it doesn't necessarily need that for the support, although you have to remember that the 18 drawer units tend to weigh a lot more than the 60 because you can really pack in the elements.
Right.
But it was because it could sway forward and back, and that would be an absolute nightmare if that thing fell.
That's one of my fears. I've got mine on wire racks right now.
Yeah.
Back here, and every once in a while I'll touch it, and it's like inky, like ah. So my goal is to put them on the wood racks and actually mount them on something.
Yeah.
So
the wooden racks for me worked well, and you got the Acro Mills, right?
Correct.
How do you like those?
I like them. That was the first thing I looked at, and I think Brick Willet gave me a good place, Menards, for a decent price, even with shipping. And the way I get them, the way I basically built my store is like you talked about not borrowing money, so I basically patiently, just as I had money, kept going. It's like birthday and Christmas. What do you want for birthday and Christmas? I want a Acro Mills, 60 drawer. I want an Acro Mills 18 drawer, And it was funny because, these big boxes would show up with wrapping paper. And it's like, yay, Acro Mills. So
that was one of the.
That's how I built my store.
That was one of the biggest complaints with Brick or Treat was the logistical side of it, the expense based upon that. With every time you part out a set, especially if it's from different themes than your last ones, or you get into a new realm, the expense of going out and buying more and more and more stack-ons.
Right.
So that's the biggest downside of trying to go for number of lots, and it takes a long time to make it over that curve. I'll be perfectly honest.
I can imagine.
But once you make it over the curve, it's nice because people just find stuff.
Yeah, Brick Willet was telling me, he's like, I'd only buy the 18 size drawers, and I tried that, and it's like I can't fit it. I can't fit enough with the small amount of Lego that I'm getting in. I can buy probably 5 to 6 sets at a time, maybe, and part those out and things. But right now, I'm actually, most of mine are. I don't know if you can see that. I'm actually doing even on the small drawers, I'm splitting them in half and taking up that space.
It's all about space. It's all about space. I even go through when I'm pulling an order, and I've got the tablet right there. And if I'm reducing down to a half a drawer, right there, I'll go in, open up the page, change the inventory, put a B at the end of it because I always roll it to the end of the drawer, and then put a divider in, slide it back in, half empty, or like the drawer half open, so I know that the front end's available.
So were you tracking that just on your own document?
Not through the Bricklink inventory. So in remarks is your spot to where your store.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing remarks, but how are you tracking empty drawers?
Oh, I'm not tracking empty drawers. Empty drawers just get pulled completely
Okay.
out and are sitting on the table.
But if you like have a half drawer empty out.
It's A or B. A is front, B is back. Yeah. So I've got 0057. A is full, B is empty.
Gotcha. So right now you can see some of the drawers pulled out halfway on mine, and that's because it's got an A and B, but only half is full. The other one's empty, and I haven't found a nice way to track that yet. To say, hey, I could actually put a divider in this, or I have an empty space in that area.
I just do it in the remarks.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's literally drawer number 5007A, 5007B.
Yeah, I'm doing that when it has inventory, but when it's empty, it goes away, right?
It goes away. It's open. So
okay.
It's there's no real. I know I get what you're saying is how do you track that? Things get bumped, drawers get pushed in. You may inadvertently do it as you're pulling an order. You might bump it, or you might have a child.
Yeah, my son. Hey, I helped you out. I pushed the drawers back in.
Drawers in, Daddy. Thanks. You remember which ones? It was over here. I did these.
Exactly.
So yeah, I went through that when I moved as well. What I did, once again, using Brickstock, is downloaded my entire inventory and then sorted by remark.
Okay.
And then I had an Excel file open, and when I would find an empty one, I would put it down. When I would find a duplicate, it was like 50707A, and I'd find 2 of them or 3 of them. I'd immediately search my inventory for that remark, put all of them into the stockroom, and then put it into the Excel file. I wouldn't check it then, because you've got to focus on the process and really crank that out, because that's the way to. You got to work your way through in waves of things, and studies have shown that when you go and do like boom boom boom, it's not as effective as when you do because when you build could be taken completely wrong. I was about to say when you build that rhythm, but
you don't want any more squirrel moments. Squirrel. You look off to the side and you're down the rabbit hole or what have you.
Exactly. So, I even try to when I do not have priority polls in the night's orders. So one that's going to somebody in social media, somebody who's active duty military, some weird printing thing that I've got to remember, like they did not pay with the address through PayPal that they actually wanted it shipped to, so I've got to manually put in their address through PayPal. Those orders get usually prioritized first through the night. And then, I've also got the velvet rope, which puts the velvet rope people in front of those people, even except for military. Don't tell them. I try to do Brick Owl and then Bricklink, and then the next night Bricklink, and then Brick Owl. So it's just easier to go through the process of how the page is set up even.
Okay. What were your biggest hurdles when you opened up the Brick Owl?
None really.
Okay.
BrickSync was intuitive for me. I know that a lot of people had problems with BrickSync and stuff like that. It was intuitive for me. There's a lot of stuff that got skipped because it's not on Brick Owl yet, but I'd say probably 80+% of that, without even knowing, is my fault alone, because I haven't gone over there and put the Bricklink ID in on that element so that I could begin selling it over there.
Okay.
That'll probably happen in 4 years, maybe 5 years, once the boy is old enough to know how to do that, because I'm that lazy.
Sitting in tech ed preschool classes.
Well, I think you'd be able to do all right, you look right here on this page, you look right over here on this page, you put this in over here. Watch him do 10 of them. If he does 10 of them right, Go for it.
Good to go.
But let's play. What Lego set do you want to earn today?
Yes.
Yep, not an uncommon game. Not an uncommon game.
Yeah, the Star Wars battle packs seem to pay well for my son, so.
My son is grown to have expensive tastes.
Well, I didn't say one. It was like, hey, Dad, I see you got 5 of those. What can I do? Oh, crap.
Yeah, we got Lloyd's Dragon sitting over here, which was going to be mine, but it's going to be his. Luckily, I've discovered that the kids are not into doing intricate buildings. So
Not yet.
they totally crapped out on Disney Castle. So I'm going to begin Fishing Village with them and just hope that they just think, I don't want this. Because it's very repetitive in the beginning. I understand.
I want that fishing village.
All right, see if we have any more questions. If I do not answer your question tonight, please make sure that you leave it in the comments. Again, if you are a seller in the UK and you'd like to do an early stream with me next week, because I understand that joining us live is quite difficult for you guys, let me know. This is not going to be something that happens on a regular at all. I'm not trying to undercut Holland Ballin at all. There's absolutely no way I'm going up against Walking Dead. So, plus I know I'll be sitting in a room by myself, talking to myself, because nobody will be watching and nobody will be joining to be a host. So, and I got no problem with that. Question: how often do you check your prices after you've listed parts for a 6-month average, as it can go up and down? Completely honestly, as the new one is uploaded and on a whim, which is terrible. I know I should have a monthly schedule set up where I actually go in and do that. But the way that my store is set up, I actually have a lot more stuff that is in the spectrum of rare than common as far as the lots go, because I go for the weird shit. So the prices on mine traditionally aren't going down, they're going up actually, because less and less people have those elements. So naturally the price is going up, and I don't want to keep jacking the price on that up. What I do with my rarer elements, because I put them in there at the available average, and I do double check the available average because there's a couple screwballs out there, but I put them in at the available average because I'm assuming that that's the 3-year sell period. So that's the range that I'm going for. Is I'm because I've got the long-term sale, and the game is already played out where I'm selling that way. I price them at that. 3 years can come really fast with a lot of elements, especially if they can be considered seasonal or they suddenly become seasonal. See if I can find one real quick. Talk for a second.
Okay. I was looking at Pumpkin Bricks asking about the USPS priority boxes for free. What KC Metro says there. That's how I found mine. You may have to create an account and set it up to have a ship.
Everybody should have one.
Is that the head with the teeth on it?
Yeah, it's just a trans red head with the teeth on it. That thing is suddenly a bestseller during the holidays. Didn't even think of it to be that way. I just got it because it's cool. And it looks neat under a helmet. You know, it's definitely an army up type of element.
Let's put one of those old LED lights behind that head too.
And we could talk about that. Might be too late to talk about that, but I want to do that in a future segment as well. Maybe we'll do that to celebrate the Halloween season coming to an end. Plan ahead that on the 29th, we'll talk about seasonal sales and how to prepare for them. Because I know that's actually something that people are going to be asking about with you know, the winter holiday seasons coming up, the celebrations of, and all of the Lego changing of, because people do start doing a lot of changes to their cities because of that.
Yeah, you mentioned buying seasonal colors, ahead of time, getting them in the store and things like that a while back. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do that best. I don't know if you're doing that through your bulk buys or if you're actually looking for sets specifically for that.
Both.
Both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got to also remember that when it's fall here, it's spring on the southern hemisphere. So if you're truly going to open yourself up to the world, you've got to be continually ready to go if you're going to take on the foliage challenge, because it definitely is its own game. Each little category in Bricklink is its own little game on how to try to conquer it. I'm far from conquering anything.
Wow. Yeah, that's my next baby step, is shipping to other countries.
It's a good step. It's definitely a good step. You can increase sales, especially once you have built up your. At your point, with your store being smaller like this, the quantity does matter over the lots.
Okay.
All right. So your formula is a little bit different, but because you've got to have the draw there, you've got to have somebody, because nobody's going to go onesie twosie.
Right.
Or they want it. You got something that they want in quantity. But once you get those lot sizes up there, it makes all the difference. Because you don't know what somebody wants to build.
Right.
No matter what numbers you try to run on something, you're not going to know what each and every individual wants to buy. You can only make vast generalizations on different things. So sometimes they pay out and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to get information from some of these buyers about what they're trying to build, because it's just exciting to see what they're buying, and then send it out. I was like, send me an Instagram, send me your Instagram link so I can just see what you're building,
That's one of the great parts of selling as well, as seeing a lot of these things come alive.
Right.
I'm lucky enough to just recently, one of the mosaic artists out in LA, Andy Bach, got a hold of me and was like, "Hey, do you want to see this thing as I'm building it?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, please."
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see
it
it all now. Just send me a text done with a link. No, of course I want to see this thing as it's going together. Like, yeah.
That would be so cool.
And he's working one color at a time, not rows. He's working one color at a time on doing these huge mosaics, And I'm just like, how do you keep them straight? And he's just like, it's a never-ending battle. But there's no real tool you can put in between a 1x1 to keep them aligned, where you could just, run it up and down and keep it in there. You would end up, it's soft enough that it would cut it, because the tool would have to be that thin. It's to the thickness of cutting. All right, we're gonna close it out. Again, if there was any questions that you had that we failed to answer or failed to answer adequately, if there's a topic that you would like anyone to touch upon, if you are a seller in the UK or Europe that would like to be on next week's show, since it's running 2 hours early, contact me. Of course, bigbbricks@gmail.com. I'll respond there, or you can send me a message on YouTube. I prefer questions for the show to be on YouTube, if possible. It does not necessarily have to be on the previous week's show. It can be on any shows. I'm just looking chronologically through my comments in order to answer them. Don't forget to check out your Amazons, your Barnes and Nobles. A lot of them are still having clearances and have not been swooped or picked over, so you might still find some good stuff there. And
I didn't realize that.
If you are a third-party Lego-esque type of seller and you have a product that you would like me to feature in Bricks Out, please contact me directly. I would be very happy to pimp your shit. I will sell myself if you have a quality product. If you've got shite, I will point out that it's shite. But if you have something really good, I want to be able to talk about it and be a part of it. So there you go. That's my spiel. You get your spiel. Go for it.
Man, just thanks for having me on, and thanks for doing the seller stream. mean,
No
it's-
problem, man. I enjoy it
it's
when I can answer questions and stuff like that, and people ask stuff. I really I like doing it. I'm in this for the long haul. The reason why I do this is because I want people to not undercut each other and realize that there's a way that you can do this without having to just destroy the economy, because it is more fickle than you realize.
Right.
It really is.
So head over to Mevitz Bricks and check out what I've got. And again, thanks for all you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And for an example of what I'm talking about, look at the price of dark bluish gray bananas versus pearl gold bananas. In my opinion, the pearl gold banana is way more freaking impressive and just has more bang power to it. DBG is a very cool color for the banana, especially in mass. Tan is still the king, but there you go. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna be a brick. Check out my Brick Lake store and my Brick Owl store. We're gonna have more coming up on future shows dealing with the eBay and the Amazon side. I know that there has been a lot of comments on that. A lot of people wanting to check that out. So I will try to make sure that we address that. That is something that is of huge interest to me as well, because I do sit in this basement quite a bit, trying to think of ways to make sure that I continue to put a roof over the head and food in the stomachs and clothing on the bodies of my family. As do you. Crazy show. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm gonna be a brick. See y'all next week.